tad tikai atgādinot, kamēr lieku prezentāciju, es diezgan strikti uzņemu šīs 3 minūtes, kas jums ir dotas. Pēc 3 minūtēm tad celšos kājās, došu signālu un tad ir jāpāriet pie 5 minūšu jautājumu sadaļas investoriem. Arvi, tad lūdzu stafete un aicinu atklāt piču sadaļu.
Tā, labdien visiem, prieks jūs redzēt tādā lielā pulkā, pat cik es esmu pirmais, tad es domāju, ka man būs bišķiņ vairāk laika iedos.
Nu, nebūs tā.
Es ļoti ceru, ka starp jums ir investors priekš mana projekta, un turpmāk ne tikai investors, bet arī partneris un kolēģis un vispārējais. Nevilkšu laiku, sākšu pamazām teksta daudz, tā kā pamēģināšu to teātru visu izstāstīt. Šī ir intelektuālā spēle online, GoldenLine, kura pabeigta par 90%, darbojas testa režīmā un pieejama jau ir visiem tagad internetā. Kas ir GoldenLine? GoldenLine ir pati taisnīgākā intelektuālā spēle online, kura ir būvēta uz godīga aizvērtas izsoles tipa principa. Platformas dalībnieki, iemaksājot noteikti dalības maksu, cīnās par uzvaru pret citiem dalībniekiem. Brandings ir patentēts. Šīs platformas unikums ir tajā, ka dalībniekiem nav jāspēlē pret datorprogrammu, operatoru, nav jāpaļaujas tikai uz veiksmi vai nejaušību, bet dalībnieks cīnās par savu uzvaru pret pārējiem dalībniekiem. Analogas platformas pasaulē nav. Platformas nepieciešamība tirgu. Uz šodienu visas online spēles ar dalības maksu un iespēju vinnēt fondu tiek piedāvātas spēlēt pret datorprogrammām. Jāpaļaujas uz veiksmi vai nejaušību, un palielināt savas uzvaras iespējas ir ļoti niecīgas, kā arī pārbaudīt spēles taisnīgumu un godīgumu spēles laikā nav iespējams. Risinājums. Optimizēt spēles procesu ar pavisam jaunu pieeju. Dalībnieki cīnās par savu uzvaru katrs pats par sevi pret citiem dalībniekiem. Mazas dalības maksas un lieli fondi. Tīra, caurspīdīga, taisnīga un droša spēle. Šīs produkta auditorija un tirgus. Mēs savai auditorijai piedāvājam, atrodoties jebkurā pasaules vietā, iespēju jautri aizraujoši pavadīt laiku internetā, ar mazu dalības maksu iegūt lielus fondus. Mūsu auditorija ir visi tie cilvēki, kuri šodien piedalās visdažādākajās internet spēlēs, kuras ir par naudu un iespēja iegūt fondu, kā piemēram visās intelektuālās spēles, viktorīnas, loterijas, bingo, sloti, online kazino, sporta likmes, biržas. Šo cilvēku masas ir skaitāmas 10 miljoni visā pasaulē. Neskatoties, ka mūsu klients ir katrā pasaules valstī, veicot dažus pētījumus, analīzi, nonācām pie slēdziena, ka produkts maštabēt ir jāsāk ar ASV, Zviedriju un Indiju. Konkurenti. Šai platformai tiešo konkurentu pasaulē nav, jo platforma ir unikāla un analogu nav. Protams, ka jebkura intelektuālā spēle internetā var tikt uzskatīta kā konkurents, bet tādu tiešo konkurentu priekš mums pasaulē nav. Uz doto mirkli no 2017. gada līdz šodienai projektā ir ieguldīti 80 000 eiro pie personīgo līdzekļu. Nepieciešamās investīcijas. 6 mēnešu laikā nepieciešams etapa veidā investēt 230 000 eiro. Biznesa modelis. No katra dalībnieka maksas, ko dalībnieks samaksā par piedalīšanos balsošanā, platformā atstājas jau 30% par platformas izmantošanu. 70% ir fonda uzkrājums, par kuru cīnās dalībnieki. Spēles principi. Tikai 3 soļi. Izvēlēs istabu, kurā vēlēs piedalīties, izvēlēs savu kombināciju, par kuru balsosi, sāc cīņu par savu uzvaru. Komanda un...
Jā, un līdz ar komandu, paldies. Varam pāriet pie jautājumu daļas jūs sadaļā.
Es atnāju tā spēle
par spēli.
Jā, viņi intelektuāli ir vai laimes spēle.
Šaks.
Tas ir tā, ka jūs, teiksim tā, no 6 cipariem var sastādīt 720 kombinācijas. Tātad, respektīvi, var piedalīties ne vairāk kā 720 cilvēki. Viņi iemaksāja dalības maksu, viņiem tiek doti 100 punkti, un viņiem sava kombinācija ir jāsamīda attiecībā pret augšējo kombināciju. Tur ir tik tīri matemātiskais skaitījums, tas cipars, kurš saņem visvairāk punktus, tas ir pirmais, un attiecīgi tādā veidā jūs savu augšējo kombināciju sabīdat tā, kā ir apakšējā kombinācija, kuras jūs izvēlējies. Viss ir ļoti vienkārši, tā no pirmā skatījuma liekas, ka varbūt ir kaut kas grūts, bet uz doto mirkli spēlē reģistrējušies 300 cilvēki jau, nepārtraukti kaut kas spēlē notiek. reģistrējas, pat cik viņa tagad uz doto mirkli netiek aktīvi reklamēta, bet tāpat cilvēki nāk, reģistrējas un skatās, bet lai visu aktīvi sāktu reģistrēt, spēle ir jāpabeidz līdz galam. Lai spēli pabeigtu līdz galam, ir nepieciešami apmēram 2 mēneši IT speciālistam un atvērt jaunu kompāniju, kas būs tieši nepieciešama šai spēlē, pieslēgt acquiringu un principā tas ir viss.
Kur ir azarts šitai te?
Azarts ir tāds, kad cilvēki iemaksājot dalības maksu, veidojas fonds, un šo fondu viņi arī vinnē. Un katras 2 minūtes tiek doti 100 punkti, ar tām 2 minūtēm šie cipari tiek bīdīti. Katra spēle ir konkrēta laika, ir, teiksim, stundas spēle, ir dienas spēle, ir nedēļas spēle, ir mēneša spēle un ir gada spēle. Teiksim, stundas spēlē jūs iemaksājat 5 eiro, un jūs cīnaties par to fondu, cik to spēlētāji ir, toties viņi viens pret otru arī cīnās par šo fondu. Jo vairāk, jo ilgāku laiku pavadi spēlē, jo tev lielākas iespējas ir vinnēt. Spēlē var sākt piedalīties gan kā pēdējās minūtēs, gan kā pirmajās.
Vai spēlētāji var būt droši, tā ir pat godīgākā pasaulē?
Tāpēc, ka kompānija LatBAN, kas ir kompānija, kas ir starp spēļu, teiksim, starp spēļu, kas veido spēles un starp online kazino, es viņiem iedevu viņu notestēt, viņi teica, ka viņa ir pati godīgākā. Un, ja es gribētu dabūt viņu licenci, vienkārši nepietika finanses, tas maksātīja 1000, un es būtu dabūjis to licenci, kas pierāda šo spēles taisnīgumu.
Kas jums tādu licenci deva?
LatBAN,
Kas ir tāda kompānija?
Kipras kompānija, kura ir tiesības izsniegt šo licenci. Izsniedzot šo licenci, viņi apgalvo, ka šī spēle ir, kad viss atbilst tas, kas ir rakstīts to.
Sakiet, izskatās, ka tā grafika diezgan elementāra, tā pamata līmenī, ja? Tas varbūt ir ļoti labi, bet sakiet, kur jūs to 70,000 tērējāt īsti uz ko?
Ņemot vērā to, ka šī spēle, kad no sākuma vispār viss uzliks tikai uz papīra un nebija nekas skaidrs. Nebija skaidrs, kā viņa vispār darbosies dzīvē, tāpēc viņa tika pārtaisīta nescik reizes. Kompānija, kas viņu taisīja, viņa bija diezgan dārga. Un tajos 80,000 ietilpst ne tikai spēles, ieliku 60,000 spēlē, tur bija SEO, tur bija vietnes apkalpošana, tur tāpat bija spēles brandinga reģistrēšana. Šeit ir viss ir aprakstīts, kur šie līdzekļi tikai ieguldīti.
Un īstenībā pie šī, liels paldies, bet jautājumu laiks arī beidzies. Teiksim paldies lielu Arni, un noteikti pēc tam networkingā izmantojot iespēju vēl uzdevēt papildus jautājumus. Liels paldies!
Paldies!
Šodien īpaši centīsimies ievērot laiku, tā kā mums ir vairāk šeit dalībnieki. Yeah. And starting with this presentation, greetings from Riga to our foreign investors. And now, Ulvi, stage is yours.
Thank you. Hi, today I'm going to be presenting you an opportunity to invest in a management buy-in in an electrical contracting business. So the goal of this project is to change the existing old board and go in and continue work with the same principles and the same culture that's been proven to work, but with new ideas to grow the company. So a little bit what they do. They do external electrical network installations such as distribution and transmission. They do internal electrical installations, and they do lighting. Some general financial data. In the last 5 years, on average, they did 4.2 million in revenue. Profit was 355,000 euros. And third important number, is EBITDA, so earnings plus depreciation and amortization, was 529,000 euros. What I'm looking for today is an investment of 300,000 euros in exchange for 20% in equity. We've also thought about the exit strategy for the investor, so that would be an agreement for 500,000 euros in the next 3 years, which is about 1.6 times return. This cash would be used to comply with banks and as a source for operating cash flow. And thirdly, term negotiations are possible depending on your experience and input. So with this slide, I want to show how good is this investment. So if we assume that in the next 3 years, we experience zero growth, but we work on the same level, so 500,000 EBITDA, then cumulatively, if we also add the debt from the bank, which is approximately 150,000, cumulatively we have 1 million in 3 years. So subtracting 500,000 for the investor, we're left with 500,000, which is enough to keep the business running and for any additional investment necessary. I'm also not alone. We have a very experienced team. We have a CFO, 2 industry experts. One of them owns a very similar company, a smaller one. He's also my relative. And then there's me. There's a lot more I could cover about this opportunity, so I'll be glad to answer any questions that you have right now. And if you're interested, I'll be happy to have a conversation with you after this. Thank you.
Thank you, Vic. Great timing. 40 seconds left. So investors, this is not a typical startup. This is a buyout deal. So now it's time for questions.
Are you sure about your next orders or to keep the turnover for the next 3 years?
So essentially, we've also structured the deal in a way where the old management stays. They will stay for 1 year in order to, I mentioned principles and the culture, in order for us to take over all those things that ensured that they got those results before, so we can move on with the same principles. So they're going to stay for a year, we're going to take everything over, so the risks have been pretty much minimized in that sense.
Why is there 7 in the business?
Good question. Well, I don't want to talk exactly about the numbers, but they're a motivated seller. They've been running the business for 20. It's been since 16 years since they've been in the business, and they're tired. So that's also reflective on the numbers that we've negotiated.
Any other questions? So if there are no questions at the moment, then probably during the networking there will be.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, so thank you a lot.
Yeah.
Definitely good run. Calvi, stage is yours. Next startup of today.
Yeah, hi, I'm Kalvis. I'm CEO and co-founder of Taut, and we're the fastest way for teachers to give feedback. Workload is teachers' enemy number 1. When they spend exhausting day in front of the class and they go home, their workday continues, and mostly with 2 things: planning and giving feedback. An average teacher spends 28 hours every month on providing repetitive feedback. And that leads 40% of new teachers quit their job in their first 5 years. That's why we made Taut, which is the web app for 5 times faster feedback on student work. The process is very simple. The teacher makes an assignment in Taut or in Google Classroom. Students upload photos of their finished work. Teachers then give feedback with marking and commenting tools. They also track their time saved and feedback efficiency. And students learn from our feedback whenever and wherever they like. We save teachers time with reusable comments, so instead of rewriting everything, they can just drag and drop the comments on the necessary works. We start as a standalone platform, but also integrated with Google Classroom to make it more secure and easy to adapt. While we are not the first digital feedback tool on the market, the existing ones are way too sophisticated and does not save time for teachers. During the summer, we had more than 160 registered teachers on our waiting list on our closed beta. Right now, we have one pilot confirmed in Wales, and we are in active discussions with municipality of Helsinki, whose education department wants to see Taut in their schools. Our target customer is a K-12 teacher and schools in the UK and US, where the teacher workload problems are very well documented. And together, they account for 4.2 million teachers. Teachers can use Taut for free, but once they reach a certain amount of reviewed student work, they or their schools have to pay a subscription fee. And we launched our closed beta in May. In this week, we launched our public beta, which right now have virtual classrooms, learning path, and analytics. And in early next year, we will launch our version Taut 1.0, which will have where we'll dive deeper in analytics. We will have new formats for assignments and comments, and also reports for teachers. Teachers need a tool that really helps them and they can easily adapt, and this is where we have an advantage because we have vast experience in engineering and design and business experience to put Taut in schools globally. We want to reach 30K in MRR in 12 months, and in order to do that, we will need to hire engineering and marketing people. So this is an opportunity to jump in as we are looking to raise 215,000 euros. Thank you. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Exactly 3 minutes. And now time for questions.
Who is paying for service and how much is what kind of prices?
So the payment will be per teacher, whether a teacher pays itself or their schools pay. Right now we're looking at $8 per month per teacher who can assign unlimited amount of student work and with unlimited amount of students.
How many paid users you have now?
Right now we don't have any. We launched our public beta earlier this week, but this is something that we are working on, and we are setting up the payment structure soon.
I have a question. What is analytics? How does it understand? Is it right, or what suggestions to give to students?
Right now we are starting with something very simple, so mostly for teachers how many time they save, but there's a lot of potential to go to expand on that not only for teachers how many time they save or how they perform, but also for students, for example, in which subjects they are struggling, which are good for them. This is also why we have Learning Path, where it works something like a hashtag. So if you have a math class, but there are sub-subjects, so to speak, then they are easily trackable. And yeah, there's right now we started with something very basic in public beta, but like I said, we really there's a potential to expand on that in our first version, a real version. And it's also something that is popping up when we talk to schools, that they really want data, and there's still work to be done on that.
What kind of technologies teachers need for to use this app? For example, like tablet with a pen or something?
No, for us it was very important to make it easy accessible. So this is a web app. They don't require any installations. They need a desktop. A tablet works as well, and they just need to open a browser. And the app is accessible from our website, just .up.co.
Another question is how is it compatible with the other school platforms? For example, in Latvia we have Class LV, so they would have to use two platforms, which is not really convenient.
Yeah, we have talked with some of those learning management systems also in Latvia, but this is something that they don't have, and they also have expressed their interest to have something like this because teachers need it. But the thing is, like I said, right now we focus on UK and US, where those teacher workload problems are really critical, I would say, and also they in those regions. More than 60% of schools and teachers use Google Classroom. That's why we go integrating with them, but there's also, in the near future, we will expand that to Schoology and also Canvas, which is other popular learning management systems in those regions.
have time for one more question.
Should we project for Google Plus just to buy your ID?
No,
You
we
should buy your service.
sorry, I'm not.
Because they can expand the service on
Um,
the Google Plus.
You mean to offer something like we have right here? I guess there's a risk of that, but history has shown that there are a lot of companies and successful companies that do their service mostly through integrations with Google Classroom, and they are profitable. And there's nothing from Google that they try to like steal their project or something. Google Classroom is like a learning management system, and Google is happy that there are integrations around it to expand on features. Yeah, I think. There was also another?
Yeah,
Maybe then short one, because
okay.
we're running out of
You
time.
never know, then are your products kind of similar?
I have a really short experience with Evernote, but it's more like note taking, and I haven't, in my experience, haven't seen nothing on Evernote that would allow to do something like providing comments and reuse them and give feedback to students.
Thank you, Kalevi.
But yeah, I'm happy to answer maybe more in detail if you had.
During the networking,
yeah.
we'll have chance to explain in more details.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And our next project is Keep. So, floor is yours.
Thank you. So, everyone has been in a place with more stuff than the space allows for. Hi, my name is Kristaps, and today I'm representing a self-storage project, Keep. So, what are the main problems? For example, in many flats, a living room is like warehouse, where you can find like bicycles, prams, and many other things. And the second thing is that many people is overpaying for their belongings, for the storage for their belongings, and traditional warehouses is inconvenient. And what does the Keep solve? The Keep solve that increases the amount of living space. Users can use storage for as long as it needed, and Keep is located where it is really needed. And for example, I think that Keep can help live people a little bit greener. For example, I live in flat. I keep my bicycle to my parents' house, and this year I have used my bicycle only once. And about the market size, approximately 66% of citizens in Riga lives in overcrowded flats, and that market size is approximately 135,000 people. Motorbike users, which don't have like their private houses, but they are living in flats. It's approximately 32,000 people, and small and medium-sized companies, like for example, where you would put your stuff if you would work in co-working space. I think there will be a problem in that. And about the business model, like business agreements and individual users, and the competition is like garages and traditional warehouses as self-storage.lv, and summer houses countryside houses, but yeah, they are quite far as well. And for private vehicles, of course. And our technology is like pop-up, quick, easy, and safe. Go to market, we will use influencers, a real estate network, outdoor advertising, and exhibitions. This is our team. We are searching for 850,000 euros and like three main things. 850,000 euros, it will generate 18% revenue, and we can expand to all Europe. And you need to trust your belongings to us. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Kristaps. I live in the 5th floor and I have a bicycle, so I feel the struggle you were telling about.
Yeah.
So investors, your questions?
What makes you different from other players?
So the main thing is that we can put our keep self-storage box where it really needed. Like for example, we can put this storage space in parking lot, or on the private area, or inside the building's flat ground.
And legal side to put them everywhere you
And
want.
security.
So the legal side, this is like a first level building, like first range building, which is quite easy to attiecīgi ļoti viegli ir saskaņot ar būvvaldi šo jautājumu.
Not with 25 tenants.
Sorry?
Not with 25 owners of the apartment to whom the land belongs.
In that case, yes. Of course, it's not possible everywhere. But like for example, we have like 31, and we have made like a demo company, and we are using those spaces, and we have clients as well, and yeah, they are using them.
And maybe that's one of the main things you can tell about that you already have this demo.
Yeah,
and what are the results?
Yeah, we have a demo company who's working like for the 2 years, and all of the time we have like 100% booked storages.
Is there any other questions?
Yeah,
what about
and
security? Maybe there's some cameras or something.
If the boxes is possible to put in a parking lot, that there definitely is like one guard in the locked parking lot. The second thing is that there are like industrial parks, and in the industrial parks there are security systems as well. But the mobile ones, which we can put in the I don't know, like in living, some private area, it's a mobile security similar as Omniva.
Okay, thank you for now.
Yeah.
Noteikti tieksiet klāt un izmantojiet iespēju uzdodot vairākiem jautājumiem. And the next project of today is IziPizi and Roland's Dent.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to introduce you with the future of last mile delivery. IziPizi app. So, year 2020 the fastest growth of last mile delivery. Steve Gross said you need to do startup when you need it. So the right time to change industry. This is our team. We work more for 10 years and all the time is a problem with the delivery. I worked with e-commerce as marketing manager and companies manager. Yevgeny is logistics. We have Arman's programmer and designer Martinj. So we have solutions for online stores, parcel terminals, distributors, private shipments, courier companies, and so on. Some cool stuff in there. So we have a shipment managing tool for business and for private persons. We will reduce delivery costs, quicker delivery time, green thinking, new sending solutions. I don't have time for that. After presentation, social network, and so on. We will send different way. Delivery service and speed, sending from Riga centers to Kangaraks. We are in quite good position as price and speed. So pre-sale, we started negotiations with strategic partners as LatBAN, Pigu Group, and TET. We have partners who are ready to send, to work with us, and transportation partners. We are starting a pre-launch in October. We are ready for that. And first goal is year 2021. 800 deliveries per month, and it's only the Baltics. So in year 2020, it will be 150 billion shipments, but as LatBAN said, it was before the COVID. And if we count out in commissions, it's 52 billions, and we will fight for every cent of that. So let's change delivery together. Your questions?
What is your know-how? Why do you say let's change delivery? It's already exists. It's here.
Yeah.
What are your advantages?
Yeah, the system lets right now the system as we made not exist. There is a lot of different kind of. So we can be putting together those who want to ship and those who want to deliver. Right now, by example, DPD, they asking for the companies who can help them deliver with a small amount of cars.
My question was, what is your know-how? What are your advantages?
The system who lets the planned delivery, and the system who let bring down the delivery price.
You are like a middleman between ones and
Yes.
others.
Yes. We're offering a system which will use the delivery companies or private persons. Also, we will work with private persons from 60 years old. So, as LatBAN passed, we agreed with LatBAN passed. If from Kangaraks we need to take around some letters, 80 years old young boys and girls will be happy to do that. A lot cheaper than express pasts, which are sending this right now.
Thank you. Any other questions?
What is your competitor in global market?
In a global market right now is a different kind of startups which are trying to do the even last mile delivery segment, but no one have price bidding like everyone can online see which is the lowest price, and so that's why we will say we don't have like prime.
And your ambition and concentration in which markets?
We will start in the Baltics, so that's because of conversation with the Pigu Group. They have a market
and after that?
In Baltics. And then we are looking in Germany. But we are starting sell with a big market
and
players.
You have analysis of German market?
It's about 800 and more than 100 million signings.
Competitors?
They have.
But do you have analysis of those competitors in Germany?
We have information, of course, yeah, that I will
Yeah, I did not see what exactly you ask.
You can go back to the slide
Yeah, if you can.
regarding investment.
So we're asking 150,000, 50,000 for pre-launch and grand opening in December when the e-commerce is booming. So 150,000.
I will share a presentation afterwards as well. So, is there more questions?
Is IziPizi, for example, your competitor, or?
Yes, we can say that, but they are different. They are like Volt or Bolt. They bringing only from one point to other points. We will have planning system where one courier will take 4, 5 or more packages. So if with the city we need to send only one, so it will be priced at 250. We can put together 10 shipments, and with that the price.
Thank you. So time is up as well. So we have 3 more presentations. This one? She's? Yeah. My smart advisor and Zygmunt Weeks.
Thank you, Vega. Good afternoon, dear ladies and gentlemen. I will present and introduce the revolutionary business model which appears and will be very, very interesting in the next decade. It's market network. And the concept is my smart advisor. Imagine this is your business, your everyday business. At least you want it looks like that. It's fast, innovative, driving pretty fast. You feel control. You are compete with others. You need to stay on the road. You love what you do as a businessman or businessman. But suddenly, and it appears, you got some bad news. Bad news about that. In 7 days, your bank accounts will be closed because of AML, some requirements not solved from the tax authorities, from the banks or other institutions. What you are going to do, what you are trying to do. First is you can or want to call your attorney. It's pretty expensive to do that. Remember? Next is you can ask for some friend or other who is like universal expert who knows everything and will help any problem to solve. These are on universal experts. And of course, really, everybody hates unpredictable costs. Any business counts the costs, and if somebody said it will cost around 100 euros per hour, it doesn't make sense for you. How much it will be costed then? The smart advisors will help to solve. So this is a different approach. Actually, it's a revolutionary approach for the legal, tax, and compliance services. And our vision is to change this, to approach for such a services for B2B, small and medium companies, basically. And how it is, it's very easy. It's like 3 steps. You see the problem, it's a legal issue, tax or compliance. You submit with your details, and in 24 hours or less, we provide the offer with a fixed price and comparable experts who can do that. So, our unique selling points, we save time and money, which is the most important resources. Really find the experts for a specific problem, because the universal experts can help longer and not so good. This is totally different than now. Many of lower legal and tax advisors, they say, okay, my hourly fee is such and such. And of course, we focus on experts, and actually we create this platform very friendly for them. because they want to serve the clients there. Who we are here, the experts in our field, and our test market here, and what we are looking actually is 50 to 100K for testing in local market. And yes, break-even point actually is pretty close, but we can do it, and it's good for investments. Thank you, and ready for your questions.
Thank you, Zygmunt.
You show more your team.
Team is here.
Yeah, in your team there is also one of our members.
Yep.
Arthur.
Arthur. Yeah, one of you, but actually these are experts in the fields. I think those who got experience with the taxes, those who got experience with the tax authorities, and legal and compliance advisor also. Plus, here is not 20 more experts with whom we already have agreement that they will be ready for the test period.
So mainly tax advisors?
Legal, tax, and compliance. That's the main idea. We have this. There's no questions.
If there's no questions, you still have time. Like there will be two more presentations. You can think of questions to ask during the networking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's your turn. Yep. Jean, stage is yours.
Okay, thank you, Arya. Hi, everybody. Nice to be here. It was quite some time when I was pitching something. Basically, my name is Jean, and as a hobby for the last 5 years, I do a lot of workshop, lectures, and one-on-ones for different groups and companies on very different topics, starting from digital transformation, change management, lean startup, whatever is there about startup, bringing startup things into corporate world. And while I was doing that, I gathered so much content that I wanted to share it somewhere on the internet to make money, for sure, to have some passive income, and for sure to bring value to other people, to share my knowledge, to share my skills. But what I discovered that this $200 billion market of ad tech is really had a wicked problem. Face-to-face things works. We know I can kind of talk to any of you face-to-face, share my skills, and you can share yours, and it works. But it's not scalable at all, and you probably can't access every expert you want to, right? So the thing about face-to-screen that's becoming more and more popular right now, that is super scalable, but it doesn't work. Guys looking at the screen are not engaged. They are isolated, they are alone, and they're just hanging there. And it's like about $200 billion market. So what I decided, being an entrepreneur at heart, I decided to build Unagi Media. Unagi Media is a video platform where you can learn any soft skills with well-renowned coaches, tutors, and industry experts. Basically, it's like a FaceTime without having to be there all the time. So we are talking about content, video content in vertical format, where you actually talk to people, but they are not there. It's pre-recorded. Every Unagi course is cut into small pieces. We call them bites, and you can consume them at your own pace, at your own speed, how you like them. For sure, as a coach, you can put a price on your content. For sure, you have an audience, a connection to your audience, so you can have video conversation, asynchronous again. And for sure, you can build and co-create with other tutors and coaches the content on Unagi Media. So, the business model of Unagi Media is pretty simple. So, we are a marketplace in terms of business model, so we charge 20% of the revenue that coaches make on the platform from one perspective, and we are freemium for end customers. So basically we have free accounts, you can access a lot of free stuff as well, but also you can upgrade and pay €5 a month or whatever it will be there to access premium features and premium content. And we started with customer validation. We don't care about product, we care about market. So we onboarded 20 coaches already, easily, without any problem. They generated 120 subscribers with a 16% conversion rate to each coach. So they visit and 60% converts to a subscriber to a particular coach. We have hundreds of more coaches in the pipeline, and as we speak, there will be first video courses created by our coaches. Some of them already online. People are spending like 30-40 minutes a day on each course consuming that. So right now we're a team of 3 with a huge experience. I'm looking for $500,000 to get to 50K MRR in next 1 or 2 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Jean. Great energy. So now I'm looking for some energetic questions from your side, investors.
How you're going to spend 500K? 500,000K?
Full time for whole team. So it's a hobby project of us. We are 3 of us are doing. This is the first thing for sure, the product, and basically getting 2,000 coaches on the platform, delivering at least 500 minutes of video a day.
And what are the costs and expenses behind that exercise?
I can share it with you.
Sorry?
I can share it with you later, for sure.
Generally speaking, I'm not getting into detail. I just would like to understand the cost and revenue structure of
yeah, the team. It's all in any startup. It's the team. The 80% of cost is of any startup. It's team.
It's 3 people.
No, not 3. For sure, we will hire developers. We need at least 2. We're already building a customer success team. We have 2 people as intern right now that are not here that are doing onboarding.
And what is the current development of your Unagi Media?
You can go there and took a course on Unagi Media.
Okay.
They already have some
Yeah, you have
there.
coaches there. You can pick a coach, and if this coach already has a course, you can take it, take a look at the course.
From development point of view, what else are you going to do? Or
There are a lot of things to do. We want to
just
convert it to it will be a mobile app at the end of the day. Imagine Netflix. You subscribe for Netflix, you have a mobile app. Then, if you have premium account, you have Unagi Media on your TV. You have it on your iPad. You have it in your browser. So this is basically what we are building there, and it's community. So it's about like building really connection between coaches and between the audiences as well.
Thank you, Artus. You
Yeah,
had
how
a
about
question?
competition? There is Udemy, HANA, Udemy.
That's not competition.
So what
Udemy,
is your
Coursera,
competition?
it's like slides. You're comparing slides to
Oh,
actually
there's
talking to
video as
people.
well. You can learn.
Yeah.
So what is your competition?
Show me. There are none. Basically, the competition of regular Coursera, Udemy, the thing that you mentioned, it's about slides, and it's about like talking small faces there, like reading from slides. I can name a competitor that might be closer. It's a recent startup from Lithuania called Quoreo. It's QOOREO dot something net, or I don't remember. They have a similar model with industry professional, but without any video. So you can subscribe to industry professional, and then you can have a cup of coffee with them for 25 euros, etc. It's similar, but there's live things. It's different. But imagine Patreon. You know Patreon, a platform. It's $1 billion company, a platform for artists. So you can support an artist by contributing like 15 euros a month to this particular artist, and the artist sharing insights with you. Same here, but for coaches on a different market. So this is the closest one that we found at the moment.
You also had a question regarding
Yeah, I just wanted to
competitors?
ask about Udemy, because Udemy has very good site. It's not slides, it's videos, and I take myself lectures
great.
from there, and it's...
I'd be happy to take a
yeah.
look. Do you know any Udemy coaches, or do you know the coach behind Udemy?
I have one subscriber for
Yeah.
one coach. But
Yeah, there is about coaches. That's not about taking courses. This is about like coaches and building connection with them by and mastering your skills.
That means you will have one-to-one connection anyway.
Yeah, but not
So
live.
it's-
Yeah,
So it's not scalable really.
it's not
Because-
live.
Yes, I know.
So
But
why it's not
you
scalable?
cannot talk even offline with more than 20 people, let's say.
If I have a course like this, I can talk to millions of people from this course.
He
Why
needs
not?
online, like
One
to
to-
be
one-to-one.
online.
No, the one-on-one, that's a different one. We're not talking
Yeah.
one-on-one in a live format. That's the key. We are basically blending face-to-face with face-to-screen as much as we can to get this face-to-face experience, but still remain scalable. This is the key of the project, because it's my problem. It's my personal problem, so I'm delivering a lot of courses on Unagi Media as well. At least 4 already published. I have like 30-something in the pipeline coming. So that's what I do there, because I couldn't find any platform where I can build actually meaningful connection with my audience.
Thank you, Jean. Sounds like
Thank
there's
you.
a place for discussion later.
Thank you very
a
much.
lot.
Thank you.
And we have last presentation of today. Oscar, you have a great task to close this event with your pitch.
Yes, it's working.
It's working. Okay.
In my consultancy business, I'm able to sell my hours for a relatively high price, so which means I need to work less to cover my basic needs. When I was working about 10-15 hours a week, I realized I have loads of spare time on my hands, and I should invest it somehow wisely. And the idea was, in contrast of consultancy business here in Latvia, to create a business with a global reach that would be scalable. But I didn't have any ideas, so I was looking in universities, and soon enough I met two scientists from Riga Technical University that had developed a pressure sensor technology based on fabrics, on textile. At that time they had a prototype of a smart sock. That sock, integrated with the sensors, can analyze the gait of runners in the sport industry. But through the ideation, brainstorming, and interviews with industry people, we realized that horse riding industry is more appealing for this technology. So we created a smart saddle pad that is a pad that you put on a horse under the saddle to monitor how the horse feels under the weight of the rider. Because imagine, you have a human being on a horse, on an animal, that's a significant load for the animal to bear. And if the saddle doesn't fit perfectly, and I mean perfectly, it creates pain for the horse. And that's in about 50% of the cases worldwide. And there are lots of horses out there, not in Baltics probably, but in countries like US, China, UK, of course, France, Sweden, and so on. What you see on the screen is a product. It has two parts, a physical part, a pad that has integrated sensors, and of course a digital part, the app on your smartphone, where you can see the data interpreted in a friendly manner, so to understand how your saddle fits. We see this business in several phases. The first phase being we sell the product to very few professionals that really deeply understand the problem, so they provide the feedback and we develop the product. Then we expand our network of professionals and influencers to understand their feedback and further develop the product, and then we reach out to a global market. Actually, we have proven traction of the market. We have sold and got funds from 11 professionals that actually wait for the shipment. And there's a slight problem with this because we have some delays in creation of the app, because we had the app, but it's not good enough, so we have to remake it from scratch. And this is partly the reason why I'm here. I'm seeking for the funding of 75,000 euros to get the business to the next phase. And to end my presentation, I want to stress that this is not only the business of selling pads with a nice profit margin. This is actually a data business, because once we have enough pads out there in the world, we can collect data not only about how the saddle fits the horse, we can also collect the data about how people ride on a horse. And being the first in the world to have such data, so that we can integrate deep machine learning principles and provide digital feedback through the app to the users and hook them, have them to subscribe to data services. So that's the actual business. That's it from my side. And
Great.
that's a sign for the question, right?
Yeah, that's time for the questions. You have a few minutes.
Any similar products on the market already?
There are similar solutions that solve the same problem, give understanding about saddle fit. They cost around 20,000 euros. And that's meant for wet clinics and saddle fitters, saddle masters, but not for riders, because regular rider wouldn't probably invest 20k in such a thing.
What about the intellectual property of your saddle? I mean, this.
The pressure sensor, yeah, it's developed in the Riga Technical University. I have the agreement with them about the licensing of the intellectual property. And as told by Vice Rector, who's also a good friend of mine, he said, we're actually not that interested in money, we're more interested in recognition, so that the university is mentioned everywhere, like today.
So the IP belongs to the university?
Technically, yes, but yeah, technically, yes.
What do you mean, technically? Legally?
They don't have a clue about their IP, to be honest. Usually it happens so that it goes in the grey market. Professors just bring their IP out there and do the business.
Okay.
But in this case, we want to be transparent.
Legally, who owns the IP?
Legally, it's university, and we would have exclusive licensing deal with them. We would pay royalties, for example, 5% of the turnover until it reaches some certain level, which is agreed in the agreement. So it's a very basic thing, commonly done.
Technical university.
Yeah.
How do you value your company right now?
That's a very good question, and that's a huge speculation, I believe, all the valuation stuff.
Yeah, but you're asking for 70,000, 75,000 K, so you need to probably give something.
Yeah, exactly. Say about 15% of equity in exchange of 75K. But that's, of course, the question of negotiation, and probably also the question of additional value that the investor brings. For example, being part of creating business strategy and things like that. You know, like a smart money thing.
What about the production costs? You are asking for 75,000, just turn back. But it's personal, delivery, nothing about the production.
So you're asking about production costs?
No, the other slide, please, where you are asking for 75,000.
I mean, how I spend it, if I'm...
Yeah, personal, shipping, marketing, other. So, do you have in stock the stuff to ship, or you need to produce the stuff before shipping?
Production costs.
Well, of course, yeah. The question is?
The question is it outside? Do you have your own funds to do that? How you are going to fund the production of whatever?
Because it's not mentioned here.
Yeah, it's mentioned in the second line, shipping the first batch, which includes finishing all the stuff we have started already, and shipping the first batch, which is, well, existing 11 paying customers, and probably plus 10 or 20 of them, just to expand a bit the professionals that use our product in the first batch and provide feedback. That's within
Price
this.
for first delivery was 7.5.
Excuse me, can you come again?
The order?
Yes.
Delivery, 7.5.
It hasn't yet delivered. It's prepaid customers. So the traction in market is such a huge thing. I spanned 500 people, and out of them, 11 people just happily paid me for the product and said, whenever it comes, we're happy to test it. Because the problem is enormous out there. And the solutions are, for some reason, not there. Part of the reason is this industry is a very traditional industry. And electronics and digital solutions and horse riding is nothing very common. So we have to be also deal breakers in this aspect. Yes?
I'm just very curious. Do you have already a working concept of this product?
Yes.
So you can tell whether the horse is paying and it's working?
It's scientifically proven. If it's above 30 kilopascals on a certain area of the back of the horse, it creates pain. So we can track the pressure and interpret this in the app and show for the user or the trainer or whoever it is whether the horse is in pain or not. That's the main thing.
Yeah, time is up for the questions.
Yeah, I'm here
Oscar,
also for
thank
the
you.
networking.